All right, hi everyone. Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins looking at the forecast for Wednesday, July 31st. It's weird. I mean, it's July. It shouldn't. This is usually just the hot time of year. We're not usually as concerned about severe weather as I am today. It's kind of a strange feeling, but we got all the heat, all the humidity, and now a cold front's going to roll through and give us a really good chance of some severe weather. It's kind of fizzled out the last couple of days with the severe weather chance, but today a little bit better chance. There's more of everything in place. And there's already storms out there too. So first, severe weather risk. Wanted to kind of go over this real quick. These are our parameters. You have your marginal, your slight, your enhanced, moderate, and high. Moderate and high usually means some sort of outbreak. Enhanced is still kind of in the middle, but that's when they start to get a little, you want to pay attention. Slight and marginal, we see those quite often. So your isolated severe storms possible, just one or two severe storms with a marginal. Scattered storms possible, a little more intense, and a few more storms with a slight risk. This is where we're at today. Numerous severe storms possible, more persistent, more widespread, few of them intense. So that's where we're at today. In fact, a good portion of central and eastern Nebraska, from Grand Island up towards O'Neill east, this whole area is an enhanced risk for storms that will be rolling through late this afternoon and into the early evening hours as they make their way towards Iowa. So slight risk on the edge here. That's O'Neill to just west of Grand Island, like Kearney, Holdridge, even a little further west, but and then down into Kansas. And then on the edge, just this is where storms are kind of already have formed, and there's been one or two severe storms out there already. So the main impacts are going to be an isolated tornado. This doesn't look like a tornado outbreak, just a 2% chance of a tornado. So there's a chance that we could see a tornado or two. So don't be surprised if you see a tornado warning pop up on your screen later tonight. The main threats are going to be large hail and damaging wind. Where you see these black hash marks right there, that means 2 inches or bigger. And that could mean that's bigger than a golf ball. That's the size of a lime, baseball, things like that. So big hail possible where these black hash marks are at. Notice Lincoln, Omaha, Beatrice not in that, but it's close enough. I think by the time the storms get over here into eastern Nebraska, going to be more of a wind threat, and that's where just about everybody has the black hash marks. So what does that mean? That means wind in excess of 75 miles per hour. That'll do some damage. That's getting to be the same strength of tornadoes. So, I mean, not huge, large F4 tornadoes, but still, that's a lot of wind when you get over 75 miles per hour, and that does include just about everybody in the eastern half of the state, even into parts of central Nebraska. So that's basically what we're worried about tonight: the damaging wind, the large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado as the evening progresses. So how's this going to play out? This is what it looks like. So by 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that line starts to form. We're seeing kind of a cold front here, and that is going to be, let me see. Let me pop this up real quick. Here it is. So kind of like right there. Okay, so that's slowly going to be making its way this way and this way. So there's the line by 5 o'clock, and we could already start to see some severe storms. So you're looking at this area right here down towards McCook, up to Grand Island, Columbus, Sioux City. Moving forward an hour, now you're into Grand Island, south central Nebraska, seeing parts just east of McCook, along that Kansas-Nebraska border. And then a little bit further, this is 7 p.m. Notice these cells, one right there, one right there, one right there, and one right there. This is likely where we're going to see the biggest hail potential between 5 and 7 p.m. It's starting to form a line, but there's still those big clusters. That's when you start to see the really big hail. And then as the evening progresses, this turns into more of a wind event. See how it's just kind of almost merging? That is evidence of more wind than hail, which I don't know which is worse, the wind or the hail. I guess it depends on how bad it is for each. But that turns into a wind event, and we're not discounting this either. There might be a secondary line on the other side of that moving between O'Neill and Sioux City. That's 8 p.m. 9 p.m. rolls right into the capital city. We're looking at a lot of wind, heavy rain, lots of lightning. Probably going to see some hail mixed in there as well, because you can see there's some areas that are seeing that. Where am I at? There we go. This right here. That is a pretty good bet that we're going to see some hail mixed in with what as well. But I think more of this it's so linear that we're likely going to see probably some damaging winds, 75, 80 mile per hour wind gusts. But keep in mind that when I start to see things like this, when there's two things going on, this and this, usually what happens somewhere in here when they try to merge, some sort of spin up happens. This might be an area to watch for tornadoes. Northeast Nebraska, maybe even down towards Omaha and Lincoln, because if these two storms merge somewhere, it'll be worth keeping an eye on. Then it moves through by 9, 10 o'clock at night. It kind of starts to spread out a little bit. I think it'll lose the heating of the day, which there's going to be a lot of, and everything pushes off to the east. This is 10 p.m., starting to move through and past the capital city. You see it's just right there on the edge of Omaha, Lincoln, and Beatrice. The stronger part of the storm will be out in front with that damaging wind and hail threat. Then I think by 11 and then moving towards 12 o'clock, everything should be out of here. So at least it won't keep us up too long, but still, keep your head on a swivel tonight. So instability, the Cape, there is a lot of it. We're looking at this whole area right here has a lot of Cape, especially that line right there. So we're looking at this as the high to extreme, and especially over here, goodness, into parts of Iowa. There's a lot of fuel for these storms. Now, it doesn't last long. It's still there by 6 or 7 o'clock at night, but as those storms roll through, it kind of eats up that Cape and pushes it off to the east, so we're left with just more stable air after the storms roll through. But there is those early, before the storms get here, there's a lot of fuel out there. So that's definitely something to watch. What are we most concerned with? Wind, I think, is first and foremost. Hail is a close second. And then we're looking at the tornado threat isn't, I think it's between the green and the yellow, so it's kind of in the middle, but towards the lower end. 1 or 2, 3, 4, a possibility. But they don't look like they should be large, life-changing tornadoes. But still, I mean, some of them could pack a punch. Flooding doesn't look like an issue, as this should be moving to the east fairly quickly. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gives everybody kind of a heads up. Of course, if I go live tonight, hopefully you join. It's always a good time, and I answer every kind of question that I can see. Unless I'm on air, because I do work for a TV station, so if I'm on air, that's the reason I'm not answering questions. So just kind of a heads up there. But please like and subscribe. That way next time, I haven't had to do this for a while, but this is another chance for us to kind of get together and talk about the severe weather threat as it's happening. And it seems to help out a lot of folks that might be a little bit afraid of severe weather, which there's a lot of us out there. I get it. My kids are one of them. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will be probably talking to you again sometime later tonight.